Now, good morning. We're now into the 2nd of June, and I still have the coat and the hat on. There's the hat. I'm going to leave it off for now. But just a little video here now of how we're getting on. Our cattle are here. I moved them into this bit of ground here. We have a fence along here. So they're on a long strip here, and they have the same size strip, maybe a little bit bigger, on the far side of that hedge. Now, this is kind of a favourite area of mine. As you can see, there's lovely mature trees and mature hedges for them to browse. And the reason why I like to let them spend a bit of time here is the diversity of plants and grasses and forage that they can pick on, down to poisonous weeds, I suppose some people would call them. But I believe that these cattle, and cattle in general, herbivores, are wiser than us when it comes to grazing. They can self-medicate. Every plant and every grass and every leaf, I believe, has obviously nutrition in it, and it has medicinal benefits also, in moderation, of course. You don't leave cattle into a field of ragwort and expect them to do well. But I'm just on the high side of this hedge here. On the low side now, let me just see, can I cross over? I'll walk up through them. But I'm going to leave them here now. That lad there, obviously, is the boy that I dosed for the coxie. His whole backside is all dried up now. And he's doing an awful lot better. He's in great form. What was I saying? So they're up on this high side here, and this is the last field that I'm going to use in my first full grazing rotation. So we are at this now. I think Saturday it'll be 4 weeks, 28 days this Saturday. We're doing our rotation, our first rotation. So we have we've skipped a few fields, we've grazed tight a few fields, I've skimmed over a few fields, and I've topped a few fields, all in the first rotation. So I've changed things up an awful lot. Look at that fella there now, that's the way with the coxie. He's met the bull already. Wait a while now and we look at him. Anyhow, he's rising on them calves there now, so there's no problem with that fella. Where was I? I'm after losing my train of thought there now again. That happens to me a lot. So yeah, the first rotation. So basically, my rotations in mind I'm using, and I'm carrying out. There he is again now, watch him. If I was using the full farm, every blade of grass, and only getting 30 days out of my rotation, I would be overstocked. Absolutely overstocked. Now, I've basically skimmed across the farm in the first rotation. Now, May into June is the highest growth rate months of the year. Now, my whole plan and my whole way of grazing is in my head. I have to graze for 12 months. I want to be out on grass 12 months of the year, every year. So I really should be using 30%, half anyhow, at the most, of your land in May and June. You should literally just be skimming over the top, skipping most of it. And when things tighten up, when grass growth starts to slow down, you'll be able to stretch it out then to use the full farm. That's the only way I can think we can save money going forward, and making some kind of a margin in cattle, because winter time is just the most expensive time you can have keeping cattle. and that expense rolls into the summertime when we're spreading fertiliser, cutting silage, baling, wrap, all that carry on, driving big tractors around the place. So if we can get the cattle to do all the work for us, or a lot of the work for us, as employees, I think that's the only way I can see sucklers lasting into the future. So they're all here now. That's my rant over. They're all here now. They're happy enough. I'm not going to move these now at all today. I'm going to leave them off till the morning time. They only came in here late last night. They've lots of grass. It'll do them till tomorrow morning. I'll move them over to that corner tomorrow morning, and I'll give them that stretch there. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So it'll be the middle of next week, early next week, after the bank holiday, when they go back to the very, very start. And I'll make a video about the grass that I have down there on the second full grass rotation. So that's basically it now. You can see the way the cattle there now, even the calves are grazing along them haw bushes. And the Galloway down there, she's doing the same. There's all sorts of, let me see, can I go down? There's all sorts of different plants. I'm no botanist. I can't name any of these plants or trees or bushes. I just know they look different to others. And I see cattle grazing at them, picking at them, nipping at them, in a kind of a self-medicating way. So all their backsides are clean. There's no sign of scour. Obviously their dung is loose, but that's to be expected with high protein forage in May and June. So there's no need for any intervention anymore for now. I still haven't done the dung samples. It's something I will do. I'm not as panicked about it at the minute. Haven't seen them settle down, and they're starting to thrive mad now as well, cattle and calves. So I will do it, but not in panic mode doing it. So the most of the cattle are on the high side here. There's fewer on the lower side, and this is the kind of grass that they're going into tomorrow and the next day. Lots and lots and lots of tall, lush green grass. The last time they were here, it was actually, if I remember, the 15th of March they were in here, and this was the last field they were on before I brought them home for calving. So March, 15th of March, April, May, so that's what, 2.5 months, is it? You can do the maths. 2nd of June now. So that's the situation anyhow. I have to go and pick up the child now for 12 o'clock. What time are we now? It's 11:30. So I have time to get home now and, as I say a lot, get myself a cup of tea, and I'll go and pick her up. So there's the cattle now, all quiet. They've no interest in moving, so I'm not going to move them. There's our bio there now. That fella is in good form. That coxie didn't do any harm to him. Thank God. You get over it quick. So we'll leave it at that. If you like these videos and my rants, and I hope I make sense. It makes sense in my head, but sometimes I just don't explain myself right. Or I might think I've said something already in my head and I mightn't have said it at all. But anyhow, you can like and you can subscribe, and we'll chat to you all again soon. So good luck and goodbye.